Well, as Beryl makes landfall in the United States here over the next 24 hours or so, the question is going to be, what next? You know, this hurricane started off the season with a bang, essentially, very early in the season, the earliest we've ever seen a hurricane that strong in recorded history. Well, it doesn't look very favorable. This is when we look at how favorable things are overall. We take one thing. We take a look at. We look at about, I'd say it's about 40,000 feet up, and then on the way down, what kind of wind anomalies do we have in the upper and mid layers of the atmosphere, which is largely dictated by the jet stream patterns and a teleconnection called the Madden-Julian oscillation. And here's what we have. You don't want to see the orange and brown colors. You want to see the green colors. A lot of sinking air. This is what it is presently. A lot of sinking air all the way across the Atlantic, all the way into the Gulf. I mean, basically, it's the entire Atlantic. And I think Beryl, the fact of the matter that Beryl was able to form was because Beryl formed so far south in latitude. But if it formed further north, it would not have survived. Now here's where we're going into mid to late month. And you can see it does relax over the basin, but even we look more commonly toward the Cape Verde Islands as we get later into July and into August and September for development. Even that area is going to still have some issues with sinking air, and you can see it on the water vapor satellite image. Look at all the stable air, dry stable air over most of the Atlantic right now. There's Beryl right there. It's got a nice little blow up of convection there. It might have a shot at hurricane status before it makes landfall. This little streak right here going up through Texas to Indiana is the trough it's going to pick this thing up, and we could see some very heavy rainfall along this thing, along with storm surge at landfall, very gusty, damaging winds, and a few tornadoes may even be possible depending on how it survives its interaction with the trough and land. But as you can see here, there's nothing else of any significance. The only thing we have is these little swirls that you see here in the Atlantic, and those are called tropical upper tropospheric troughs. And they're just basically big areas of low pressure that develop over the very warm waters, and in areas of generally lighter shear as well during the course of the season. But the problem is they're so big they create more shear. So even though these have developed, the shear in the Atlantic is not very favorable right now, all the way to the coast of Africa. There you can see the intertropical convergence zone wave train that you typically see, and you can see nothing is very little surviving once it gets off the coast of Africa, even with that big blow up of convection that you see there. So things are very unfavorable in the Atlantic right now, and they look to remain so for the foreseeable future.